So any doubt in the integration between the GL with the controlling? Last classes we see about the actual business transactions and how they are going to be integrated and how the documents are generated in the AC DOCA table. And we saw many things in that particular area. Any doubt in that? So we saw that, okay, now there is a different configuration we have to do for the controlling, where we have to come out from that controlling from there, and we have to complete the controlling from the financial accounting with the integration, SPRO, IMG. We are coming to the financial accounting, global settings. We are coming to the ledgers, and we are going to be using the integration of controlling with the financial accounting. And these are the main steps we have to complete. Okay, so for the controlling basic settings. And after you complete these basic settings, it's a very important that for all the configuration, what we have done as a part of financial accounting, how do you know the consistency check, whether we have done the right configuration or the wrong configuration? There is called as execute the consistency check of the general ledger settings.
If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
So you might, okay, so these all the ledgers listings and ledgers with the currency postings and everything. So what are the fiscal year posting period variant we have assigned to the company code till now, what we have done, everything is fine. Okay, I want to check the consistency of my general ledger settings. So here, this is what exactly we have to do, that execute the consistency check of general ledger settings. If I go to the consistency check, the system will show a report. Okay, this is the report. This is very, very important. This report is very, very important, that when you executed the report, who has executed the report and what time you executed the report, how many number of transactions, means how many number of messages have been triggered as a part of the report. Okay, so this is all the information, which program you are going to be running. Okay, very, very important. How much time the system has taken to execute the report. Here you can see based on your company code. Okay, here this is not specific to one company code. This is for all the company codes. You can see different company codes are there. So these are the many errors you can see. These are the many errors you can see for different company code, especially for the ledger. So company code 001 assigned to extension ledger E9, not found underlying ledger L1. So company code 001 assigned to extension. I'll tell you what is the concept of extension ledger. We discussed about the leading ledger and we discussed about the non-leading ledger, but there is a concept called as the extension ledger. We are going to discuss on that. Okay. So company code 001 assigned to extension ledger E9, not found in underlying ledger, that is L1. What does it mean that? So for example, if I go to FinSec underscore ledger. If I go to FinSec underscore ledger. So make sure that, okay, so before you go for the next parameter setting, these are all the issues means now, okay, I'm telling about in the real time, how do we do that? Okay, so when we go for an implementation project, this is how we have to verify the returns. So this is because here we are playing with multiple company codes. You might be seeing multiple errors, but in the real time, you cannot see these many errors actually. In the real time, you cannot see these many errors, but I'm just giving an example. Okay, so this is the consistency check report. So if your company code is not fully completed, they have some errors, means you have to go and see that which company codes have which errors and how to get rectified that. So I'm explaining you one company code and taking one company code, I'm going into that. So what is that error here? For company code. Okay, so for company code 001, or you can take in your own company code if you want. If you don't want to take the standard one, you take your own company code. Okay, company code 7000 assigned to the extension ledger E9. So when I take this E9 is going to be called as the simulation ledger, which is going to be called as the extension ledger L1. So the underlying ledger, they have assigned it as a L1. But if I go to the L1, okay, if I go to the L1, you are going to be taking it as a non-leading ledger. L1, you are going to be taking it as a non-leading ledger. That is the reason it is telling that. Okay, so company code 7000 assigned it to extension ledger. So now here, when I go to the company code, E9, double click on the company code. So have you assigned it to the 7000 company code? Yes, 7000 is there. 7000 is there. But what is the next error it is showing that? What is the next error? E9, not found in the underlying ledger L1. So now go back, select the L1, double click on company code. So here, if you see here, there is no 7,000 L1. There is no L1 called as, okay, L1 is there. I mean to say that non-leading ledger is there, but this L1 was not assigned to your company code. So 7,000 is missing in the assignment of L1 company code. Why? Because you are using the L1 as an extension ledger. You are using L1 for an extension ledger for E9. So you can see here the underlying ledger you are taking as a L1. That L1 is assigned to E9, but you have forgotten, means the L1 was not assigned to your company code. So if it is not assigned to your company code, you cannot take this underlying ledger L1 and assign to the E9. E9 is assigned to the company code. I understand that. E9 was assigned to your company code 7,000, but the underlying ledger L1 is not assigned to your company code. So that is the reason you can see here these many errors. So not only for your company code, for all other company codes also, this is the same error. So if you rectify this, these many errors are going to be rectified up to here. So this is the consistency check report. Actually, this is the consistency check report. And there is one more company code. See here, there is one more thing which is missing. What is that? Currency conversion setting for CT. That is the currency transaction. AR are missing for the company code ZF10. Who can rectify this error? Or you can take any company code, not only the Z1. Okay, you can take any company code also, not a worry. Who can rectify? What is this error? Where I can go and see this?
In the currency conversion settings.
In the currency conversion settings, very good. Okay, currency conversion settings for CTAR. Okay, that is currency transaction AR are missing for the company code ZF. Okay, now what I have to do here? Now I need to go to the same path. I'll go to the currency type. So, okay, very, very important here. Okay, these all are going to be called as a currency. Okay, currency types you can see here. Currency types. What is the error here? AR are missing for the company code. Okay, that is nothing but are missing for the company code ZF1. Okay, so this is the global. And you can see here. Somebody has created the currency. That's what the understand here. Somebody has created, okay? Somebody has created the currency type AR and they have created the FZ and finally they have deleted it. See, there is no currency type. Earlier there was currency types, but I don't know, someone has deleted the currency types here. So that particular, they have made it as a company code specific and they have deleted afterwards. Okay, so but the error still remains as the same. Why? Because there are some transactions have been happened here. So that is the reason you are going to be seeing these or many errors are there. Okay, for which ledger? For ledger RA. Where is the RA? Come down. RA. You have assigned to the company code. Yes, I assigned it to the company code. Which company code it is? ZF10. So there the company code is also not available. But here you can see here. Okay, the company code specific ZF10. See here, ZF10 is there. ZF10 is there. ZF20 is also there. Earlier, you are going to be using the currency type AR, but now it is not there. You're replaced with 30, but there are some transactions are going to be missing here. You can see here. So that is the currency type AR. So some people have created the FZ. So like this, there are a lot of things. Okay, you're creating and you're deleting, but you have to make sure that once you created, you have to assign it to the company code. Like this, there are so many things are going to be missing. Currency type. Enter the currency rate for the company code 8 and currency type is missing. So all these are related to the currency types only. These all the errors are related to some currencies. Fiscal year variant is empty for the company code. Fiscal year variant is empty for the company code. Like this, you can understand. Okay, but no, don't go and rectify for all other company code. Just look out for your company code and see that your company code consistency check is looking right as per today or not. Like this, please assign the company code to the ledger. Posting period variant is not assigned. Basic, these all are going to be called as the basic things actually. These all are going to be called as the basic. There are 234, the 243 errors are there totally. There are totally 243 errors are there, where we had to come and rectify those errors. Clear now, all of you? This is an important actually. This is an important. Okay, so because you might have getting a lot of errors, but you don't know how to rectify that errors. But it is a basic thing actually. It will come about the currency settings, conversion rates, fiscal year assignment, posting period assignment, only these errors. But it is very complicated to understand when we come to the error related to the currency settings. So we need to have some technical knowledge, okay, because a person should have a completely understanding about the how currency settings are made to the company code level, what is the company code dependency, what is the global dependency. If you understand those things, this will be easy to rectify those errors. But if you don't understand how do you set the currency types and maintain the exchange rate type for the conversion, then it will be a very complicated for you. Clear? All of you?
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. We'll go one by one, okay? Now, okay, because the transactions I'll be showing, as I explained to you that I'll be showing all the transactions and everything, like how the controlling, how the actual postings are. Last week, okay, KB11 and KB12 and KB39, we have done some few transactions to understand how this impact is going to be done. What is the difference between the actual postings and the statistical actual postings? We have made some transactions and we saw those entries in the table, in the AC DOCA table, how the controlling document number is coming and everything. We saw the difference between the controlling document number and everything, okay? Now, actually, to be very precise, actually, so I need to explain about the concepts of the asset accounting. But before I come to the concepts of asset accounting, okay, I need to explain the concept of the BP. BP is the one more master record. So we're discussing different types of master records. Initially, we're discussing like this GL master record. We are discussing about the controlling master records, and we are discussing about the vendor master records. These all are very, very important actually. And as I told you, the document splitting also we are going to be covering as a topic. Okay, so first we'll complete the master data and then we'll go into the transactional level. Okay, first we'll go into the transactional level. As I told you that in the beginning of the classes, I'm telling financial accounting, month end and year ends are also very, very important. Okay, there is a concept called as the financial closing cockpit. Okay, that is what exactly we have to come out when we're discussing about the month end closing activity. We'll discuss about that. We call it as the financial closing cockpit actually. Okay, we'll discuss that one also. Okay, financial closing. How many of you know what is the financial closing cockpit? How many of you know what is the financial closing cockpit? What is the financial closing cockpit? At least
basically the activities which you are doing at the end of the month.
Not only the end of the month, it will be a year-end closing or quarterly or off-yearly.
Okay.
Any impact which is happening for the closing activity, those are going to be included in the financial closing cockpit. For example, if I take one example, so as you told you that, sir, okay, so every period, now we are in the month of November. So November, okay, we are going to be using the November 2021. Okay, so November 2021, according to my financial year, it is the K4. K4 is nothing but my fiscal year. According to the fiscal year, which period is open now? Currently, 11th period is open. So next period is going to be the 12th period. So every month end or every period end, what we are going to do, the system has to open the periods. That is what exactly we are going to be including this task as one of the task activity we are going to be including in the financial closing cockpit. Every year, every month end, we need to post some depreciation. Depreciation has to be get posted. Depreciation of assets has to be get posted. Every month end, that is nothing but month end minus, that is nothing but 31 minus or 30 minus 5 days. 5 days. What is that? What does it mean that? Every month end, we are posting some depreciation. Depreciation has to be get calculated and it has to be get posted every month end. What does it mean that? So that month end minus 5. Month end minus 5 is nothing but is equal to 25th. On every month 25th, you have to post the depreciation, calculate and post the depreciation. So month end is nothing but for my depreciation, it is the 25th of every month. But according to the month end, if you are opening a new period, 31st night, actually, that is going to be called as every month, and 31st night you have to open the period, new period. That is what exactly the 12th period has to be opened. So these are all the things what we are going to be doing. We are going to be covering in the financial closing cockpit. This cockpit is a new enhancement. There is a new enhancement which was done as a part of SAP S4HANA. We will be discussing that cockpit of it. These are all the tasks we'll discuss when we come to the month end closing topic. Financial closure, foreign currency postings, foreign currency revaluation, valuation. That is what exactly you call it as FSV. Okay, FSV, foreign currency valuation. This is also about month-end closing activity. You need to understand what is the realized and what is the unrealized. How the realized are going to be evaluated and how the unrealized are going to be evaluated. So these are all the topics we are going to be discussing when you come to the financial closing. Actually, there is a topic called the financial closing cockpit. Okay, so month-end closing activities. In the month-end closing activities, we are going to be discussing as a separate topic for that. Okay, don't worry. Now, financial accounting. Financial accounting, we discussed about what is a GL. Yes, from the many classes, we are discussing about what is a GL. And from the last few classes, we understood about the reconciliation is also happening between the GL to the controlling with the GL. Okay, GL is the central tenet of total accounting system. GL is always going to be called as the central tenet of total accounting system. As I told you that without the GL, we don't have the SAP S4HANA financial accounting. Why? Because the heart of the financial accounting is completely called as the GL. Without the GL, I cannot prepare my P&L account and balance sheet. That is the reason we are going to be calling the GL is always going to be called as the main ledger. GL is always going to be called as the main ledger. We call it as the main ledger. And there are subsidiary ledgers are there. There are sub ledgers. We call them as the subsidiary ledgers. We call them as the subsidiary ledgers. What are the subsidiary ledgers we have? One is going to be called as the accounts payable, and another one we are going to be calling it as accounts receivable. Asset accounting also called as the subsidiary ledgers, but today we are going to be removing it as a subsidiary. I will tell you what is the reason of removing the asset accounting as a subsidiary ledger. But it is indirectly, it is going to be called as a subsidiary ledger also. We have one more that is going to be called as asset accounting. That is for the fixed asset accounting. We call it as the asset accounting is a subsidiary ledger. Why do you call them as a subsidiary ledgers, and why do you call the GL as the main ledger? Very, very important point. Very, very important point. Why do you call them as the subsidiary ledgers, and why do you call the GL as the main ledger? So when you call it as the AP as a subsidiary ledger, the first thing we need to define it as the AP is going to be having the reconciliation between the subsidiary ledger to the main ledger. Reconciliation. What is the reconciliation? What is the reconciliation? A reconciliation is the transactional update between the subsidiary ledger to the main ledger. We know the definition. We know the definition, but how it is going to work in SAP, that is very, very important for us. Because why do you doing the reconciliation? Why do you do all the vendor transactions? And the AR is also called as a customer, and AA is going to be called as a fixed asset. So vendor transactions are getting reconciled to my general ledger. Customer transactions are getting reconciled to my general ledger, and all my asset transactions are getting reconciled to my general ledger. Finally, all the reconciliations are going to be happen to my general ledger. If I don't see the reconciliation is not going to be happen to my general ledger, your general ledger is incomplete for the financial statement. Very, very important. The reconciliation is very, very important. Now, before you make the point clear about what is the reconciliation, first of all, I need to discuss about the accounts payable. Accounts payable. You're calling the accounts payable as a subsidiary ledger. Accounts payable, you're going to be calling it as a sub ledger, or you're going to be calling it as a subsidiary ledger. Okay, I'll tell you what is the definition of the subsidiary ledger. Okay, now what is an accounts payable that we need to understand? What is the payable? Payable is nothing but creditor. Payable, creditor. Creditor. Who is the creditor here? Vendor. Vendor is nothing but my creditor. Vendor is very, very important here. Vendor is going to be called as a creditor. Company is making a salary to you. Definitely, my dear friends, you are employees, but the vendor, but the company will create you as a vendor master record. You are an employee. They're going to be categorizing the vendors into different types. Employee is also vendor for my company. Employee is also vendor. He is doing some services and he is taking the salary every month, and he's going to be collecting the salary. So it's something called as the outgoing payment for the company. So you're the vendor for your company. Even though you're treated as an employee, but you're going to be considered as a vendor. You are the creator. The materials, the person who is supplying the materials to your company for the manufacturing. Any person who is going to be supplying the raw material to your company, he is going to be treating as a vendor. If there is any repair has come, for your machinery equipments or something other equipments, whatever may be, there is some repairs have been done. Okay, so the service vendors are coming and they're doing the repairs and they're taking the money. So vendors, they're going to be doing some services and they have come here to do some repairs. They come here to do some repairs. So they are going to be called as the vendors. So vendors in SAP or in normal, we call them as the creditors. We call them as the creditors. Now, when you call them as the creditors, very, very important here. There are two types of payables we are going to be making to the vendor. One is going to be called as a manual. Another one is going to be called as the automated. I'll tell you what is the difference between the manual and automated. So accounts payable is going to be called as the subsidiary ledger. And this accounts payable is the integral part of financial accounting. Accounts payable is an integral part of financial accounting, and we see that accounts payable is getting reconciled with your general ledger accounting. Why? Because the GL is going to be called as the central tenant of total accounting system. Now let me take one vendor. Okay, Okay, Mahesh is the vendor. You're creating a master record for the vendor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the master record number. Mahesh account number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is nothing but Mahesh account number. You're doing some transactions with this vendor. You're doing some transactions, means you're completing some transactions with this vendor. There are totally 50,000 transactions have been made. 50,000 transactions have been made totally with this vendor. But this 50,000 has to be get reconciled or not? 100%. The 50,000 has to be get reconciled from the accounts payables to the general ledger accounting. Whatever the balance I see for the vendor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 50,000, the same balance has to match with your reconciliation account in the general ledger accounting. Reconciliation is the mandatory. If the vendor balance is showing a 50,000, but I see the reconciliation account balance is showing as the 10,000 or 40,000, where is the difference? The difference of 10,000 is coming between the reconciliation between the GL to the AP. Where has it been? Where is the 10,000? Wow, why the reconciliation statement is showing a difference of 10,000? It is the month-end closing activity. You have to do this as a closing activity. Why the reconciliation is not happened between the vendor and the GL? If the vendor balance is showing 50,000, then the reconciliation account in the GL should show the 50,000. That is what exactly the reconciliation. At the end of the day, you will be getting a bank reconciliation statement. What is your closing balance and what is your opening balance for tomorrow? That is a reconciliation statement you are going to be getting through the bank. So in the reconciliation statement, you will see what are all the total transactions I've made today. What is the debits you have done for the bank and what is the credits you have done for the bank? And what is the total closing balance and what is the total opening balance? How much amount is laying in my account? That is what exactly you call it as the reconciliation statement. All the reconciliations are going to be done to your main bank account, incoming and outgoing. Whatever the incoming, you are going to be issuing the checks to the vendor. You're receiving the payments from the customer. A lot of transactions are going to be happened in your bank, but finally you have to get one reconciliation statement at the end of the day. That is called as the reconciliation. Your reconciliation is going to be happen to your main bank account number, but here the reconciliation is always going to be happen to your general ledger accounting. That is the reason we call the GL is always going to be called as the central tenant of total accounting system. So when I come to the accounts payable, A payable is a word we are going to be using. Payable, very, very important. What is a payable? What is a payable? When I can make the payment to the vendor, when I can make a payment to a salary to a customer, to an employee, what is a payable? How do you know that? How do you know that I need to pay an amount of 50,000 USD dollars to Mr. Mahesh? The payment is pending. The payment is pending. 50,000 USD dollars is the payment is pending for Mr. Mahesh. How do I come to know that the payment of 50,000 is pending for Mr. Mahesh? Anyone? How do I know that? Simply, can I go and debit the customer and create my bank account? You have to see an invoice statement. You have to see an invoice statement. First of all, you have to go and verify the invoice statement. Invoice statement is mandatory. So first of all, I need to go and verify the invoice statements of my vendors. If the invoice statement is showing an open item of 50,000 USD dollars for Mr. Mahesh, then only I can go and make the payment to the vendor. Then only I can go and make the payment to the vendor. If the invoice statement is not showing an open item to Mr. Mahesh, I cannot make any payment. The system will not allow any open item to be processed to the Mr. Mahesh, so that I cannot make any payments. So the accounts payable, what is an accounts? Accounts is nothing but the creditor. Accounts is nothing but your creditor. So you're doing the payables. So where the payables are going to be happened, the payables are going to be happened in the accounts payable subsidiary ledger, not in the GL. You're making the payment to the vendor in the accounts payable, not the GL. And there is a reconciliation you're going to be developing, but the payables are always going to be happened in the payables. When you're receiving a payment from the customer, the AR is going to be taken into consideration. That is the reason. Now you got the definition why these two are going to be called as the subsidiary ledgers. Why these two are going to be called as the subsidiary ledgers. So invoice verification statement is very, very important for us. So if I go to a invoice verification statement, I need to see there should be a balance. There should be an outstanding balance of 50,000 or less than that also, whatever, maybe just here an example. If there is an outstanding balance of 50,000, then I can go and do the payment within the due date. If there is no outstanding for Mr. Mahesh, how can I credit my bank account and how can I debit Mahesh? No, you cannot do any kind of payments. You can make advance payments, but not the actual payments. So here the accounts payable is going to be coming to the picture. Here the accounts payable, whenever you want to make any payments to a vendor or employee, then we are going to be implementing the accounts payable. No, Mahesh, in our company, there is no concept of payables or something like, for example, I'm telling, then there is no concept of implementing the accounts payable also. Just an example I'm telling. Mahesh, in our company, we are procuring the raw material. We have the concept called as the P2P, procurement to pay cycle, and we have some manual also. We have some, not with the material, not with the PO, we have some manual procurement of materials also without any reference of the PO. Can both can be supported in the accounts payable? Definitely, both can be supported in the accounts payable. Can you please bring one example to us? Definitely. Any doubts here till here? Anyone has any doubts till here, up to here?
So the manual stuff for Mahesh, you're telling about the one-time vendors, right?
No, I'll tell you that. Not one-time vendor. Here that is going to be triggered to the accounts payable, not through the MM.
Oh.
Purchases without purchase orders.
Purchase orders without any reference of the purchase orders, we call it as a manual. With the reference of the purchase orders, we are going to be calling it as a automated. That is going to be called as the P2P. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, yeah. What you're going to do, purchase. Okay. When I come to the integration point of view, which you're going to be calling it as a P2P cycle, procurement to pay, purchase to pay, or procurement to pay. Both are, some people are going to be calling it as a purchase to pay. Some people are going to be calling it as a procurement to pay. Both are going to be the same one. So when you're going to be calling it as a procurement to pay, First of all, what we have to require here is nothing but purchase requisitions. Purchase requisitions. What is the purchase requisitions? I'm manufacturing some products in my company. So to manufacture these products, I need some materials. Definitely, if I don't require the material, then I cannot start doing my manufacturing. I need some materials. How much materials you require? Tell me, so that I can go and create a purchase order. So first you raise the purchase requisitions, internal purchase requisitions, so that I can verify the purchase requisitions and I can go to the storage location and see if the materials are available. If any materials are not available, so that I can go and raise the purchase order. First of all, I need to verify that particular materials in my storage location. So can you raise a purchase requisition, please? I'm going to be raising a purchase requisition. The PP order has come. Now the MM consultants, they're going to be raising the purchase requisition. This is purely called as the MM activity. There is no financial activity is going to be involved here. This is purely called as the MM activity, material management activity. No financial impacts are going to be done. What type of material you require? Mahesh, I require some materials, Mahesh. I require some materials. What type of material? Tell me. Those are going to be called as the raw materials, Mahesh. Very good. What type of materials? See, I'm talking about the type of materials here. What type of materials? So type of materials. Okay, there are different types of materials are going to be required. Different types of material. I'm going to be categorizing the materials based on the material types. For example, if I take a standard SAP, there are 3 types of materials are there. One is going to be called as the raw material. Second one is going to be called as the semi-finished goods. Third one is going to be called as the finished goods. Three types of materials I'm taking for example, for your example there, but there will be different types of materials in a real-time trading goods, non-trading materials. There is a mechanical goods, there is a shipping material. There are different types of materials based on the project level we are going to be taking here. Carbon is the one type of material we are going to be considering. Okay, so just an example, what type of material here? Okay, so the purchase requisitions, what I'm going to be requesting is nothing but for the raw material, not for the semi-finished goods, not for the finished goods. Yes, you need some raw material. How much quantity of the raw material is? What type of material it is? The SAP should know that. Okay, SAP should know that you are debiting a GL account and you're creating a GL account. You're debiting the expenses account and you're creating the bank account. How do the SAP knows that? You have to create a master record or not? We have created so many master records, GL master records, travel expenses, bank account, like that. The SAP should know that what type of material you're procuring. It's a raw material. So material type is called as the ROH. Please. So whenever I'm going to be procuring any material, for example, I'm raising a purchase requisition. So there is a transaction ME53N. I'll go to the transaction example. Okay, I'll show that. Okay, don't worry. But here I'm showing an example for that. I'll display one purchase requisition. P2P cycle is a very, very important. P2P cycle is a very, very important for us. Now see here. This is the purchase requisition number, and this is the material. This is called as the trading goods. How much quantity of the material you require? 100, sir, 10 quantity, Mr. Mahesh. When you are expecting the delivery, this is the delivery date. For which storage location you are going to, for which plant and which material group you are going to be doing. This is my activity. What is the price, valuation price? The valuation price is 71.17 USD. This is the valuation price. Okay, I'll show where exactly we have to set the valuation price. That is the second time. Part 2 we are going to discuss. So this is the material I want, Mahesh, for 10 quantity. So here, this is the internal purchase requisitions. The vendor will not come here. Vendor will nowhere come here in the internal purchase requisition, because you are going to be raising an internal purchase requisition so that you require this quantity of the material, this much of quantity of material, this type of material you require, so that based on the valuation, I will go and raise the purchase order. At the time of purchase order, the vendor will come into the picture. But here, this is the internal purchase requisition. So whenever you are creating any purchase order, now the second step, whenever you are going to be creating a purchase order, then I take this reference of reference of purchase requisition number. I take this purchase requisition. I'll take this purchase requisition number as a reference, and then I'll create my purchase order. So this is the purchase requisition number. I'll take this purchase requisition number so that it will be very easy to that. Okay, for this purchase requisition, I'm going to be creating the purchase order. So this is the material you required or not. What type of material, Mahesh, it is? How do you tell that this is the material of raw material? How do you tell this is the trading goods? How do you tell this is going to be called as a finished goods or civil? So there will be some materials are going to be created. So while you're creating the material itself, so MM01 is the transaction code. Who will be doing this? Who will be creating the material master record, GL master record, customer master records, vendor master records in your company? There will be a separate team will be there. That is called as the MDG team. Master data governance team will be there. Master data. You are not supposed to create any material master records. No, you are not supposed to create. So you have to give the requirement to the MDG team. There will be a separate team will be working. Master data governance. Those people are going to be creating the material master record. You are nowhere you are going to be involved in the creating the material master records. Very, very important. So if I take this material, for example, I'm taking this material here. What is the material? The material number is TG11. I'm taking this material, TG11. I'm taking this material, TG11. There is the one material is there. Now, let me go and select the views. I'll tell you what is the views, everything. Okay, I'll tell you what is the views and everything. So which plant, 1710 plant, okay, I'm giving here, okay, just example, okay, I'm going to explain all these things, but I make you to understand what type of material it is. One second. Yeah, this is the material. This is the material code, and this is going to be the description of the material. And you are measuring this material based on the PC. PC is nothing but per pieces. That is nothing but pieces. It will come under the material group. This is the material group. I'm creating one material group. This material will come under this particular material. Okay. The gross weight, and this is the net weight and everything. This is going to be called as a volume. Okay. This is what exactly. This is the gross weight, and this is going to be called as a net weight. Okay. Now, what type of material, Mahesh, it is? So if I go to this information tab here, okay, you just click on this information on this material. Okay, there is a one icon in there. Okay, just click on this. And here you can see the material type is going to be called as the Hawa. Hawa is nothing but trading goods. Hawa is nothing but a trading good. It's a one kind of material. It is not a raw material. It is not a semi-finished goods. It is not a finished goods. It's one kind of material that is nothing but Hawa. Hawa is nothing but a trading goods. So you have created this material type as the Hawa, which is going to be called as a trading good. If I take one more material, go back. Just go back and see. If I go to one more material for the plant 1710, there are so many materials are there. Okay, so many materials are. If I take one material, okay, for example, I'm taking a material called as the 42. I'm taking the same plant. I created this material for my plant 1710. And this is one type of material you can see. But here I'm going to be calculating this material unit of measurement with each. And this comes under the material group. Now, if I go to this information on the material tab, here you can see this is going to be called as a finished product. FERT is nothing but finished product. This is not a raw material. This is not a trading good. This is not a semi-finished good. This is going to be called as a finished product. Let me see one more example of one more. Just let me go and see one more material. So trading goods, these all are going to be called, you can see different types of goods are there. Okay. Painting services and everything here. Okay. So you can see here, these all are going to be called as the materials we are going to be using for that. Okay. Let me go to the 39. This is the one material, construction rubbers. Okay. So we are going to be using the construction. This is also a finished product. Like this. Types of materials are very, very important here. So the types of material, when you go for the raw material, it is going to be called as the ROH. If we go to the semi-finished goods, it is going to be called as the HALB. HALB. The material type for the semi-finished goods are getting created under which type? HALB. The materials which are created for the finished goods are going to be created under FERT. The materials for the trading goods, we are going, just now we saw the material, one type of material called as a trading goods. These materials are categorized under which material type? The materials are getting categorized under HAWA, HAWA, HAWA. So various types of materials do we have? Various types of materials we have. So what type of material you are going to be creating as a part of purchase requisition? So when you're creating the purchase requisition, it is a very, very important. When you're creating a purchase requisition, what type of material you're going to be? So this is the material. This is what exactly. How much quantity of the goods you require? That is the 10 pieces I require. 10 pieces I required. So you are going to be raising the purchase requisition. So this is the purchase requisition number. This is the internal purchase requisition. There is nowhere vendor is going to be coming. This is only the purchase requisition. Well, what is the material data? So for every purchase requisition, there will be 3 important tabs will be there. One is going to be called as a header. One is going to be called as a header data. Second one is going to be called as item overview data. And the third one is going to be called as item details data. Item details data. Every process of the purchase requisitions. Okay, you can see here item header. Header is nothing but, okay, this is only because we are not going to be giving any company code or purchase organization, anything. Just you are going to be giving a note, okay, purchase requisitions for the raw material. That's all. Okay, this is the header data. Okay, right, because this is for only for internal purpose only. Now, when I go, yes, sir.
Sorry, Mahesh, just a question around that material management. So
Yeah.
what's this SRM thing is? Is SRM where the purchase requisition is raised and then it goes to the material management?
That I'll tell, sir. That I'll tell. That the SRMs are going to be the different part here. So first I'll explain you the basic thing, then we'll go into the SRM part and SCM and everything about that.
Okay, sure.
Okay, don't. First the basics. First we need to understand the basics. Okay, all the things. Then we'll top on it. We'll construct a building based on the different concepts. Okay. Now you can see this is the header. This is what the header information we are going to be providing. Okay. Now, before that, let me create a one purchase requisition. Okay. So I'm taking the same material. And how to create a purchase requisition. First of all, we need to understand the purchase requisitions. So what I will do here, ME51N is the transaction code I'm going to be using. ME51. Any transactions which are starting with ME, these all are related to the material management. M starting with M. You're a financial consultant. You're not going to be creating any purchase requisitions. You will not be creating any purchase requisitions. But just as an example, okay, B, okay, because you are going to be working as a part of integration part. MM with FI integration, these all are very, very important. These all are very, very important. So you should understand all these are very, very important to your accounting knowledge purpose. Okay. So when I go to ME51N, here you can see it is a huge subject, big classes. I'm telling, huge subject it is. So you're going to be, so create the purchase requisitions. So framework, okay, these are based on, these are going to be called as the document types. Actually, we call them as the document types, different types of document types here. So I'm selecting the purchase requisition. And here item numbers here going to be given. How many items? So if I go to the header, just I'm writing some information here. Okay, raw material requisition for manufacturing. Something I'm going to be giving for manufacturing. I'm just given some header, but that is not, this is only for the information purpose only. Okay, just I'll close the header information. And here, how many items you require, Mahesh? How many items, for how many items you are going to be raising the purchase requisitions? How many materials you require? Tell me. Only one material only. Okay. If I go to the financial accounting, line item one, this is the debit. You're going to be creating line item 2. This is the credit. Line item 1 is nothing but you're debiting or not. So 1 is nothing but a debit. 2 is nothing but a credit. Like that in SAP for material management, we will take it as a 10 as an item number for all the items 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 like that. Item numbers. As a standard SAP best practice, we are going to be using item number 10, item number 20, item number 30, item number 40 like the 30, 40, 50, 60 like that. What type of material I'm going to do? I'll tell you what is the account assignment in the purchase order. While we're creating the purchase order, I'll tell you what is the account assignment. I want this material, Mahesh. Oh, very good. How much quantity you require? I require 10 quantity, Mahesh. Very good. So okay, the unit of measurement will come from directly from the material master record. Is it you're going to be calculating this 10 as pieces or each? How do you calculate it? What is the delivery date? When you are expecting the delivery date, can you tell me, Mahesh, what is the delivery? When you are expecting the delivery, Mahesh, please make sure the delivery should be done on or before of 18th. So I'm giving the delivery date as the 18/11/2000. Under which material group? Okay, now, okay. So I need to open that MM03 transaction. I want to go to MM03 because I want to see that material. TG11. I'm selecting all the views. Okay, it will be available in the basic view. The material types and everything available in the basic view. Okay, so I'll show that. So this material was created for the plant. All the materials are created at plant level. Very, very important. So I'm giving the plant. So this comes under this material group L001. Okay, right. Copy this and paste it here. Which plant you're procuring the material? So L001 here. Okay. L001. Where is the L001 here? This is the material group I'm taking. Under this material group, this material is going to be categorized. Which plant you're creating? 1710 is nothing but my plant. Very, very important. For which storage location you want these materials? Okay. So you have to store those materials. Once you receive the materials, so I'm going to be tracking those materials in my storage location. So every plant, there will be some storage locations will be there. So I'm taking one storage location. Who is the requisitioner? Mahesh is the requisitioner number. Okay, whatever. So I want this material, Mr. Mahesh. Okay, so 10 quantity. Sorry, 10 quantity and everything. I'm pressing enter. So here, if you see the item details, there is only one item. See, there is only one item. There is only one item. Okay, that is a trading goods. If you have 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, you can see all the trading goods. So this is the item details, very, very important. And these are the item overview. Okay, you can see here the item overview. What is it? These are the different types we have in the item overview. What type of material it is going to be? This is the material. Under which material group? Okay, what is the text? Text will be automatically come from the material. How much quantity you are requesting? The requisitioner is raising a quantity for the 10 quantity. What is the delivery date? Okay, open quantity is going to be called as a 10 quantity. Okay, now, okay, then /O, I need to open a new screen. I'll go to MB51. I'll go to MB51 transaction. Okay, I'm just this MB51 will give you, before that, any material documents have been generated for this particular material or not. Very, very important. So before you're telling Mahesh you want this material, so let me go and see whether any documents have been created, any material, the same materials have been created with any material documents or not. So I'll give the material and I will see the list of all the documents you have generated for this material. Okay, right. Because I cannot directly accept your materials, your requisition. First of all, let me go and see whether in the storage location, whether these materials are available or not. If the materials are not available, then I will accept your purchase requisitions. If the materials are available, if you're not using those materials, then why you're raising? Then I need to verify are they MM storage, are they the MM storage location? So as of already this material, see, already if you see here, On 15/7, 15/7, 21/3, 21/3, 21/3, 10/3, 21/2, there are so many material documents you have generated. These all are going to be called as material documents. You can see this much of quantity you are requested: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 65 quantity. So these all the quantity have been consumed. You mean to say that this quantity is not available in the storage location? No, it is not available, Mahesh. Okay, let me go there. Then let me go there. Okay, MB5S. So MB51, this MB51, you are using this transaction. MB51, you are using this transaction to see the same material. I'm using the same material. Because you are raising a purchase order, you are raising a purchase requisition, you're creating a purchase requisition to the same material. So I'll go and see there are same store location, how many material documents you have created, how many times you have received this material. So totally the total, okay, in first order you have received the material of 10 quantity, like that the total 65 quantity you requested. All these 65 quantity pieces have been consumed. You mean to say that in this storage location there is no material is available? No. Then definitely I need to go to the storage location now. Definitely I go to the storage location, MB5S. I'll go to the MB5S. Okay, so before that, okay, I'll go to, okay, so I'll go to this transaction. 5B, I'll go, okay, or MB51. Stock on the posting date. First, let me see that, then I'll go for the GRIR, okay? First, I'll go and see that. Okay, so I'll go to the MB, before I go to the MB5S, I'll go to the MB5B. Okay, I'll go to the stock on posting date wise. Okay, very good. So which material number you're looking, Mahesh? I'm looking for this material and this company code. Very, very important. Okay, very good. Okay, the plant is the 1710 is the plant. Okay, very good. Which store location you are referring? Yes. If we go back, the store location is 171A. Okay, I'll give the same store locations. 171A. Okay, very good. Now, can you execute? Yeah. There is already stock is available. 25 stock is available. Total receipts and issues, the stock is available. Out of 65, you can see the quantity is available. Then why you are raising this purchase requisition? Tell me why you require a separate purchase requisition. This is true. Definitely, this is going to be the true value. This is definitely, I need to take into consideration. You cannot raise the purchase requisitions. Already the stock is available. Stock is there. 25 quantity of the stock is available. Stock on 31/12/2019. That's something like stock is available. Then why do you create a purchase requisition for 10 quantity? You can consume that material. Now, what is the problem with that material? That is where exactly the requisition is going to be created. If the material is not available, create it. If the material is available, then don't create the purchase requisitions. So this is where exactly the quantity comes into the picture. Valuation. Every material is having a material price. Every material you take, the material will having a certain price will be determined for the particular material. So what is the valuation price? The valuation price is for each material. One material is equal to 71.17. That is the quantity. 71 into 71.17 into 10. Mahesh, you are not given any valuation price, Mahesh. The total is coming as a 17, 11, 17 because into 10 is a 17. But you are not, I saw that you never given any valuation price here. But how the system has took the valuation price here? Then I need to go to the material master record. I'll come to the material master record. The price you are going to be giving. So let me select all the views and click on the organizational level. 1710 is the plant. I created the material for this plant. Now, where you're going to be giving, I see the pieces, I see the material group, this is the grass quantity, net quantity, and everything. But where is the price? The price will be up. These all are going to be called as the material management tabs. Okay, let me go to the, just if we click on here, it will give all the tabs. Go to the accounting tab. Here we have an accounting tab. Currently, we are in the basic data. See, there is a dot mark. There is a simple dot mark is there. So you're in the basic data one. No, the price will be updated in the accounting tab 1. Go to the accounting tab 1. Okay, I'm going to the accounting tab 1. Price will be updated in the, because I'll tell you what is an accounting tabs and everything. These are very, very important actually. I'll tell you each and every tab in a detailed way. Now you can see here the price in the accounting tab 1 for the period 0007, that is 2021. Okay, very, very important. How much price you updated? The standard price is 71.17. From here, the price is taking and it is determining here automatically. I have not given this price, my dear friends. I have not given this price. This price has took automatically from the material master record. You can see this is the price you have to take. It's a standard price. Two types of prices will be the moving average price and the standard price, but this is going to be called as the price control. You are going to be taking it as a yes. Yes is always going to be called as the standard price. There is one more price called as the moving average price, but it is the standard price, my dear friends. Standard price, you updated 71.17. So 71.17 into 10 quantity, the total is going to be coming as the 71.7117.70. So this is going to be called your valuation price. The valuation price automatically take it from the material master record. From where? In the material master record, if you go to the accounting tab 1, in the accounting tab 1, you can see this is the material. Okay, this is the valuation price. You're evaluating the material. You're evaluating the material. Then the concept will come as the material ledger concept will come. I'll explain that material ledger. So if we see here, this is the valuation price. Okay, you're going to be giving the valuation price and the total stock. Just now we saw that how much stock is available, 25 or not. We have verified the stock or not. If I go to the material, where is the stock? Stock is 25. The total stock which is available is the 25 or not? Yes, the total stock is available. So you can see the 25. The total stock which is available is the 25. Then why you are raising the purchase requisition? Tell me now. The why you are raising the purchase requisition? If the material is not available, source of supply. Okay, who is going to be supplying? Is it internal or is there any fixed vendors are there? Okay, it is coming to the info records. How the source of supply you are going to be giving? What is the supplier material number and what is the status here going to be updating? Okay, these all the things will be updated by your MDG team. Who is the contact person? Okay, Mahesh is the contact person. One under which purchase group? What is the material price controller? What is the text you are given in the header level? And what is the address, delivery address? This is the delivery address. And okay, these are the specifications for the tax purpose and everything. Okay, so like this, these are going to be called as the item details. You can see here, these are going to be called as item number, item overview, and the item details. So this is the material you require now. For this material, you are raising a purchase requisition for 10 quantity. Now you have verified everything. This is called as a check. If any errors are there, you can rectify those errors. Click on the check. If any errors are there, it will go and give some error log message. If no errors are there, it will give the check was successful. No messages during the issuing the check means issue correct. Okay, so now you can go and save it. My dear friend, this is only the concept I'm explaining as a definition. We are not gone into the practicals. Just I'm creating only the purchase requisitions. What is this valuation? Everything we need to discuss each and every point in a very detailed way. It is not like explaining in 1 hour class. Definitely, it will take more and more and more in classes. I'm telling. Just I'm giving only the concept of what is the purchase requisition only. Simple.
My question.
Yes, please.
Sorry, is there a flow you have like a flow chart for P2P and C2C? Like
Yeah,
starting from.
Yeah, I have it. I'll begin.
Thanks.
The concepts which I'm explaining is completely real time. Completely real time. My 16 years of experience I'm putting in front of you. Don't refer any kind of books. You will not find this kind of information in any book I'm telling. No information can be found in any book because I'm going to tell you about all the valuations, what is the material ledger and everything I'm going to discuss. Now here you can see this is the purchase requisition number. Now you've created one purchase requisition number. So this is the requisition I'm going to be taking for the next step for creating the purchase orders. So to create this, how many transactions, see how many screens I opened here. So first is nothing but I'm going and see what type of material it is. Second, in the second thing, I'm going to be seeing what are the material documents. Okay, this is going to be called as the MB55. Okay, you can see MB51. Okay, MB51, I'm going to be big. I think all of you are making a note of this transaction codes or not. Simply please remember this, all the transaction codes are very, very important. MB51, we are going to be using to see the material documents. So till now, how many material documents we have created for this material? Till now, as on date. That is MB51. Then I'm going to see the stocks in the store location. This is going to be called as MB5B. I'm going to be using called as the MB5B. In the MB5B, what I'm going to do, I'm going to be verifying any materials are available or not. Oh, there are total, oh much, 25 quantity of the material is available. So I'm going to be coming to the picture under this material. This is the plant. This is my store location. This is my movement type. I'll tell you what is the movement type and everything. Yes, the stock is available. 25 quantity of the stock is available in the store location. Then based on that final step, what we have done, final step, we have created the purchase requisition. Final step, what we have done, we have created the purchase requisition. So this is the concept of the step number 1. That is what exactly you have created the purchase requisition. So based on this purchase requisition, the next step is nothing but you have to create a purchase order. The purchase order should be get created with the reference of the purchase requisition. So what is this purchase order? Everything we need to discuss in the next step. Before that purchase order, then I need to go and explain the material. Okay, simply here I've shown the material, just simply for an example, I've shown the material, but what is this accounting tab, how it is going to be impacted, what is this valuation class, and what is this material ledger activation, how do we do the material price analysis. So for this, I need to explain the material ledger concept. Any doubts here till here? Little bit,
no.
Little bit, it will be little because you are the initial classes, little bit, it will make you too tricky to understand. But when you go into the flow of each and every transaction, automatically you will be getting understanding. But this is a very important sessions. So my friends who has already worked in the SAP ECC, I think they can understand very easily, I think. Okay, so, but it is a very, very important. What do you say, others?
So far, I understand. Yeah.
It's good, really, Mahesh. I haven't been into that material management area, so it's good. The starting point.
Starting point is very, very important. Yeah, that's what. Okay, because I
And
need to go into each and every material types. Okay, what? Just we discussed about the material types, but how do we create and everything? We need to go into the details of all this.
And I think so. It's an interesting subject as well, I guess.
Oh, definitely, sir. 100%. I'm just doing the P2P. Then we'll go for the manual. Okay. This is very, very important. I'm telling. Okay, so like this here, so tomorrow's class will class about that. Okay. Thank you.
Just a quick question, really. So, what's the
please.
concept of SRM in that material management? What is that?
SRM will come only the supply requirement management. Okay, so that will only come as a part of supply chain process. Okay, that I'll discuss. Don't worry. I'll discuss. Okay. Don't worry. Yeah, because I told on the top of it, we are going to discuss many modules on this top of it. Okay, PP also this can be discussed on the CRM, customer relation management, and everything. Okay.
So what is it we got left, really? So you're going to look at material management. When the asset accounting will come?
When that?
When will you expect to start a asset accounting? Under what section?
No. Let me complete this AP and AL. Big topic. Asset accounting is a major topic actually.
Okay. No worries.
Asset account. If you want to start, I can start it. Not a worry. If I want to hold this and if I want to start the asset accounting, I can start it. But I just let me go through the flow process so that it will be easy understanding for that. Okay.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It was just a very general.
Don't worry. Yeah. And as I told you that Don't worry about any concept. I'll give the additional topics, but I never miss your classes with left out with classes. Okay, don't worry about that.
No problems. Thank you,
Huh?
Manish.
Take care.
You're a
Okay, bye.
legend.